Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together
We are K and K Crochet. Let's do it.
Alright, this video is about things I've started and not finished and may not finish, and we'll talk about that as we go. So for Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, we also do scarves in addition to hats. So I started with some bulky yarn. No, I don't know what kind it is. I threw the ball band away on one and the other one didn't have one. I threw it away a long time ago. So this is black and this is actually purple, and I don't know why it's showing up blue, but anyway. So I started and I chained with the black and I left the tail on the end, and when I got all the way to the other end, I cut the tail again so that the fringe would be on the other end too. And then I did a row of purple and did the same thing. So I'm just going to keep going across one row at a time, and there will be fringe on each end from the ends of the yarn, and we'll see what that turns out like. It's going to be, I think, a pretty thick and nice scarf. And so then I started a blanket. My husband has a friend who likes purple. Last year I made him a hat and a scarf out of Red Heart Amethyst, I think. And he loved it. And so this year I decided I would make a blanket. Now this was not included in my original stuff that I did, for Santa's workshop, where I had the 8 people I had to make things for. Because those were family and friends that I had made stuff for before. And to be honest, I think when I made the hat and scarf for this fella, that I probably ended up making it right at Christmas. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of started Santa's workshop this year, so I would remember, to make things ahead of time. But in the back of my head, I always had I was just going to make him another hat and scarf this year because he liked purple and da-da-da. And then I changed my mind. So, hat and a scarf, I thought, no big deal. I really didn't have that added in there. Santa's workshop was more like for the people that I gift to, and so anybody my husband wants me to gift to for him, I pick up later, because he'll tell me later what he wants me to do. So anyway, that's not what we decided to do. We were sitting talking this week, and the scarf and hat had been mentioned again, and that had made it. So I had gotten this yarn from Sunflower Ashley, and it doesn't look like the right color either, but you all know that this is that violet red heart ombre. It's not blue, but anyway, even though it's looking blue. So I started a C to C, and I like it, but it's pretty. Now I'm toying with what to do. I really want to rip it out, and the reason why I want to rip it out is because I already have 2 other blankets on the hook, and I'm getting ready to start a third one. And the reason I'm getting ready to start a third one is because you'll see in another video that we went to Joann's, and I got this color, which oddly enough is showing up purple. It is purple. But it's darker than this. This looks like the purple amethyst, but it's not. This is dark orchid, and it is like deep purple, deep, deep, deep purple. And so I thought maybe it would be something that he would like better, instead of,
Maybe like,
I don't know, instead of violet. I thought he would like that, because that's like, it's more like a plum. It's showing fuzz. It's more like a plum color, and I thought he would like that better. So as much as I really do like this, I think I'm going to frog it, because I don't want to have to do a 4th blanket. And this would be a 4th blanket that would be put aside for like, baby blankets or something. Maybe I'll put it aside and just hold on to it for a little while and not frog it. It's not like I'm going to be doing anything else with it immediately, like in the next couple of days, because I do have these other projects I'm working on, and I can put it to the side and maybe come back to it, because I do have 4 skeins of this yarn that Sunflower Ashley donated, and I won during Niecy's live. So I do have 4 of them, and I could make something pretty substantial. Yeah, I'm going to frog it. I'm going to frog it. See, y'all, I have to talk myself through these things. As much as I love this pattern, I think this is beautiful, I know another pattern that this works up so gorgeous in, and it's kind of like a star blanket, but it's a star burst maybe. And Crochet My For Life did one with this colorway, And while this is beautiful and gorgeous, and I love it, I really, really do, and I love this stitch, this takes a lot of yarn and a lot of time, and then it's very heavy too. So when I got this, my intention was that I was going to use it to make the starburst kind of pattern, because I've done it before with others and really, really liked it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to frog this and then use it for that instead. So then there's the other blankets that I'm working on. Of course, I'm still working on my Doctor Who blanket, even though I haven't touched it since March. And I'm halfway through May. I just realized that's going to be 2 whole months without touching it. Okay. I've worked on other things. It's okay. I'll get there. I'll get it done. I'm halfway done. So then I started with this. And it's too big really to show it all, but you can see. So I started this with the intentions that it was going to be it was going to be panels for a tank top. And as you can see, that's definitely not going to be panels for a tank top that hangs down like the handkerchief tank top. It's too big for that now. This is about 30 inches now. And this is yarn that I won from a blessing bag from Abigail. And so I started it. It was going to be a tank top for me. And then I thought, well, it's kind of too heavy for that. And I don't think I'll have, once I got halfway through a cake, I realized, this is Caron Cotton Cakes, by the way, in Driftwood. And I realized there wasn't probably going to be enough to do what I wanted to do. And it was heavy. So I thought, well, I'll make a shrug because it's really, really squishy and soft and warm. And I'll make the, what do you call it?
Huh?
The cardigan, the cocoon.
Cocoon.
Yeah, the cocoon cardigan, which I think this would be beautiful for that. But the longer I worked on it and the more I worked on it, and I laid it down one night just to look at it, and it screamed baby blanket. So that's what's going to be. Third time's the charm. This is going to be a baby blanket, and it's going in a hope chest for my future grandchildren. So, yep, that's what it's going to be, because I make things for everybody else, but I never save anything to be like heirloom pieces for my family. So, and my husband's family always did that. His grandmother made a quilt for my children when they were little, and it went through all 3 of them. So, yep, that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a baby blanket. I just got to figure out how long it's going to be. It's 30 inches now, and I have this much left. This is probably...
Is that both balls?
No, this is probably less than half a cake, I would say, or maybe 3/4 of a cake, because I'd already finished one whole cake and then started in... No. The next cake started right here, so yeah, it's probably like 3/4 maybe, or maybe even a little more than that. So that it started there. But of course, once you get so far, you know, it takes more to go around and around. But anyway, that's what I'm doing with that. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons if you watch the mood project thing, you'll see that I was kind of, I was struggling. But I was struggling because I had so many things going that were overwhelming to me. Blankets to me are overwhelming. And when you have 3 or 4 going at a time, yeah, it's overwhelming. So, this one I'm going to finish. It shouldn't take much longer. And this one I'm going to frog. And then I'm going to start one like this, but it's not going to be a corner to corner, I don't think. Because a corner to corner, I don't know. I get real excited about them until I get to the point where I'm trying to get wide enough to start decreasing. And once I get to the decrease and I've got these big long rows to work, I'm not so excited anymore. I know they're pretty, but, and those are fine for me if that's all I'm working on. I don't mind to have that, but I have a real hard time having a project in the background that I'm working on a little bit at a time, and that's proof given by the fact that I have the Doctor Who blanket in the background that I haven't touched for almost 2 months, because I get busy on other things, and if it's something big like that I've got to pull out, then it's kind of, you know, daunting for me to have to keep going back. But it shouldn't be, because that one isn't attached to any yarn. It's just the yarn. I finish each stripe, I finish the width it needs to be, and then cut it off. So it's not like I'm pulling out, you know, all these different things with a C to C where you have the different bobbins and stuff. But that's where I stand with whips this week. What about you?
I had a few, but they're all for July.
We hope you have a great week. Don't forget to be kind. Let us know in the description box what you're working on. Let us know if you have reached a point where you're just ripping it out because you're not happy with it. Whatever, you know. I'm a firm believer that you don't make things that don't make you happy. And if it's not making you happy, then you stop and you start something else. And That's where I found myself this week. So, what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a woman of many words.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great week. Don't forget to be kind because you don't know anybody else's journey. Bye.
Bye.